Perfect. So we have Adam from VOLA with me tonight. Are you all right, mate?
Doing very good. Happy to be here.
Good, good. And as we were just discussing, you're in your rehearsal studio getting ready.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Getting prepared for the tour, finishing up some work and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They're going all right. They're going good.
going well. It's a new space, so this is the second day that I'm here.
All right.
It's fresh.
So are you still working out the best place to be for the better sound? Like, so I can see your kit set up. Did you have to go walk around the room with your snare?
I didn't do that actually. I was
No.
more thinking about the practical stuff, like how to fit everything in. So this is where the kit had to be for that to work.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sound. It
Mm.
just reminded me then of if you see the Foo Fighters movie when
Yeah.
he's setting up the kit, isn't he, in their room, and like an inch to the left, an inch. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
just wonder whether you got one of those situations.
Maybe I should have done that, but I don't think I've ever done that. I just go with the flow. But yeah, it's pretty important to find a good spot as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Find the sweet spot. Um,
yeah,
so brings us nicely, all flowing into the tour then. So your tour and
yeah,
your album, first day, 1st of November, aren't they?
exactly. It's next week, Friday, I think.
A week tomorrow, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, damn. Cool. Yeah, that's soon. I
Very,
got plenty of work to do. Goddamn.
very soon.
Yeah. Mm.
So I'm assuming it didn't happen by chance. That was a purpose purpose decision for the first for both, for the tour and the.
Yeah, it wasn't like 100% planned. It was more a combination. So with our label, we had like a specific slot, like a period of time where we could release the album. And for the touring, it happened to be that it starts on the 1st of November, like for whatever reason. So those two periods of time were in the same spot. So then we like adjusted the date so that the release could happen on the first day of the show. Because we don't want to release the album like, a few days into the tour or way too early or, like it has to be kind of connected somehow. So that was a bit of planning, a bit of coincidence.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's going to make then? Obviously, the first day of the show, the first day of the first show of the tour. Is it going to be even more nerve wracking because of the album? We have like one eye on the sales and the
Mm.
release, and then one eye
Mm.
on the tour that well the show that's happening on that day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I would say at least me personally, I get less nervous about that, but I get more just in the like my head is in the work completely. Maybe that's why I get less nervous because there's no time for nervousness. Like the first day of the tour, the first show of a tour, is always the busier one because that's when you set up stuff for the first time. You don't have the routine yet. Everything is new. You're settling into the bus. You meet all the other bands. So there's a lot of work there. And then the day you release an album, there's a lot of work just sorting out, the full release with your team and posting stuff, being responsive, celebrating it, like all of that on the same day. That's pretty packed. So it's yeah, I don't have time to be nervous, or I won't have time on that
Yeah, yeah.
day.
There's a lot in there, like you just said. There's going to be so much to
Yeah,
do and happen on that same day. But
yeah.
yeah, but also it's quite a unique. I imagine it's quite a unique thing. I don't know as many bands do that, so
Hmm.
it, it could be a pioneering a new thing.
Yeah, maybe.
It's one of
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. So yeah, that's really good.
Mm.
I've had the chance to listen to the album.
Cool,
So
cool.
obviously the PR team sent it across to me, um,
Mm.
and it's mega. I'm obviously gonna say I liked it anyway, but yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
Because I was new to you guys
Mm.
until the first song I heard was "Break My Lying Tongue,"
Okay, all right.
and then I don't know how we got here. Those were the two. They were the first two
Mm.
things released, weren't they? And so
Uh, yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and they came to us on the PR trail, you know, and
Mm.
so we picked them up, and then I was all over it from then. So then I've
Yeah.
delved into your back catalogue, and I've been
Mm.
listening to everything really, everything that a
Oh,
certain streaming site can offer me.
yeah.
Um, and so that's what I came in at this venture of your
Mm.
app, as it were. Um,
Okay.
would that? How would you introduce somebody to your band then for the first time? So for me,
Mm.
that was there. Would you say to somebody that's the best point to pick you up at, or would you head them in a different path first to find the journey with you, sort of thing?
It depends. It depends who I'm talking to. So I sometimes I do some pop shows. I play with some pop artists, and they're like word gets around that I'm a metal drummer, and then people are like, "Oh, okay, I don't listen to that growly stuff. I cannot hear what they sing, and all of that." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not exactly the kind of metal we do." So then they discover like, wait, there's different types of metal. So those people and to the I guess also to metal heads that are just generally into metal that haven't gone into specific directions in the genre. To make it easy, I say Depeche Mode metal or Depeche Mode versus Meshuggah, kind of like that. That's a very broad way to introduce someone, and then in terms of the music, like where I would push them, I guess with the new album, kind of like the way you discovered us, I guess that's something you know, I wouldn't mind others doing as well. I think it's a good starting point to our sound. Of course,
Yeah,
there's softer stuff, heavier stuff, but starting out with, I don't know how we got here and break my lying tongue. It's a soft entry, I would say.
yeah, yeah. No, I smiled when he said Depeche Mode because I love Depeche Mode, and I
Cool.
and I do I hear a lot of that electronic influence in your sound, obviously.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was nice for you reaffirming that my ears are in
Yeah.
the right place. So yeah, that's brilliant.
Cool.
So yeah, so when you who is that? Is that a general influence, or is that coming through yourself, or coming through a different member, or
It's a general influence, and it's not really an influence that we all have consciously. I love Depeche Mode as well, and I'm sure the other guys in the band do as well. But it's not like the influence of Depeche Mode is generational.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it has seeped through other stuff, and then it has arrived to us, through that long path. But the reason why I say Depeche Mode is for two reasons. Firstly, of course, the electronic elements, um, the kind of playfulness that is slightly melancholic, and um, it's something you can dance to, but it also brings some sadness with it. But then there's also this thing of when you have vocalists who are male who sing cleanly, we have this tendency today to go towards the higher register. And there are few that end up in this kind of lower register that Asker, our vocalist, lands in. And Depeche Mode is kind of in that realm. It's not like Justin Timberlake stuff.
yeah,
up here or Michael Jackson stuff. It's this low kind of soothing voice a bit on the bottom. So that's also why I mentioned them, because it's like, of course, there's tons of differences, but like generally, it's in the same ballpark.
Yeah. There is a smoothness with the vocals. It's almost like a cuddle.
Yeah.
It ticks a lot of boxes for a lot of people, I think, who can appreciate what you've said there with many different influences, taking many long paths. I think they are. I think Depeche Mode, not to dwell on them too much, are very much a band that a lot of metal bands reference as influential, if not direct influences, but influential in the scene. I think it's like the melancholy of pop, and I think that's what a lot of, predominantly metal and rock bands side darker, don't they? I mean, there's some there's some darkness in your songs, lyrical darkness as well as and things like that. So, and I think that is something that comes from them as well as amongst others. So that's really it's good like that. So when you are putting songs together, is it more someone brings a complete track that you work on, or do you jam out in a room, like old school? Or is it, I've got this section, I know I've got a section, and then you assemble them into a song? How does
sometimes one of us arrives with a almost finished track, and then all of us just kind of put our touch on it. And we feel from the start like this is good. We just spice it up and good to go. And sometimes we send ideas to each other online. So I record a drum groove, I send it over, they record a bass line, send it over, and so on and so on. And very rarely we meet up and kind of put together the stuff and talk face to face. But we haven't jammed in a rehearsal space together trying to create something yet. Maybe that's in the cards for the future. I don't know. Could be fun since we haven't done it. It hasn't been, it has worked the way we do so far. So that's why we've stuck with that. We did do something on this new album, though. We had a song which was maybe like 70% finished, 60% finished. We were in the studio. It was the last day of recording drums for this album, and we had to finish the song somehow in the studio. So I guess that was the closest we came to that kind of approach, just sitting in the studio with a guitar, with a sound engineer on the side, ready to record drums, just like puzzling and figuring out how to finish this song. It worked out, which is cool.
Great. I think as well, because obviously logistically, if you're not in the same location geographically, you're not going to have the option to, when you're a kid and you join your first childhood band, as it were, or your first sort of band, you're all the same people that live in the same area, and that's how you collectively know each other, isn't it? So, but then when you get to a certain time of life and you live where you live, and obviously with the technology at hand nowadays, most home studios are better than a professional studio was 10 years ago. You can't, you can sit in a studio and create a finished product and release it and need nobody or nowhere else but yourself in your room, can't you?
Exactly.
There's so many other options. There's so many options of recording, and it's just about finding the niche that works for yourselves, isn't it?
Totally. Yeah. Finding the niche that works, but then also going outside of it just to see if something new happens.
Exactly. Yeah, and it is just from my personal experience, it's always nicer to feel someone else's influence of something you've written before it's finalized. Take it as like you say, a 70% finished item and say, throw a bit of spice on there. You know, this is just a rough version. You need to put your things on. So it's I think it's good. Any way that works. I suppose it's just like you say, finding what works for yourself as a band. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So it will work its way. If the music's good, it will find its way through.
Yeah, exactly. If the core is there, then it's there. You know.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So when you've got Anders Frieden, have I said his last name right? He guests on the first track, doesn't he? The Cannibal.
Yeah.
Is he a friend or a label friend or a muso friend or a personal friend, or did you just randomly select somebody to?
So actually, I don't know, a few years ago, we realized he's a fan of VOLA because he posted one of our songs, and since we're fans of him and In Flames, so then we were like, okay, that's cool, nice. Then we did a US tour where we played in LA, and he happened to be there together with his bandmate Björn. And they just reached out to us asking like, hey, can we come to the show, maybe say hi and, have fun? So, of course, we invited them. They came to the show. We talked a little bit. They watched the show, talked some more. That was that. Good moment. Then we were writing the album. We thought, Cannibal could benefit from a guest, maybe a guest with some brutal vocals, something more intense. Well, why not Anders of In Flames? We're fans of his. He's fans of us. We've met each other. Nice guy. Why not? So we just reached out like, hey, would you be up for it? He was on board, and that was that. So it was a very smooth, natural process.
Nice. Yeah, really cool. Cool. So again, I like it. I like. It's nice as a fan knowing that there are other bands of fans in bands, as it were. That's the right way. Because it's just you're like, oh, they know them and they know them, and it just the whole community feel again, doesn't it? So
exactly.
Yeah. So is he based in LA?
No, he's from Sweden.
All right. Just wondering, is there any chance he'll be dropping on the tour and popping up for a guest spot?
Yeah, maybe on this European tour. Yeah. He's from Sweden. I think he lives in Sweden, but they have some members that are American now in the band, I think, and they go to the US sometimes, I guess, for the studio or something like that. So that's why they happened to be there.
So you never know. We could just stroll in on partner's leg, and
it's possible.
So with the tour, then, I am coming to see you in Nottingham because that's my local town. Cool. So that's the 23rd. So I'm looking forward to that. Nice. If the wife behaves, she can come as well. But
cool.
Is there any? Do you have a favourite place to play? Is it nice to play at home, or do you have a favourite place you like to go to play? A favourite country, a favourite venue?
I don't think I have a favorite in general. There is favorites in different regards. So, for example, of course, Sweden, because I'm from here.
Yeah.
Then that feels good. The Netherlands is fantastic for the quality of the venues and the professionalism. That's really at the top, at the very top. The life of countries like Chile or Italy or France, it's so vibrant. But when it comes to the UK, there is this very strong support for this kind of music, or for music in general. Like, we feel we don't even need to know anything about the UK music history. we can feel right away that there is something deep there, and we feel it right away when we play. Or if you go to a show there in the UK, you feel that there is music is something that is very appreciated. Maybe not shown the way, like, Latin America or South American or South European people show it, because there they just show it, every emotion straight up, while in Sweden it's the opposite. The UK is more towards Sweden. Don't show like as much initially, but you feel that it's there, and that's it. We have the similar kind of culture. You feel the appreciation. You just don't see it right away, but you really feel it, and I like that. It makes me feel, a bit like home. It reminds me of home when I'm there.
Cool. Yeah. I sometimes think as a UK music fan, we are a tough crowd sometimes, because of exactly, you hit the nail on the head. We love it, but it's almost like it's inside us not to let you know too much that we like it. Gotta keep you on the edge, sort of thing. And so I have thought to myself before, we're a tough crowd. We're a tough crowd, and so again, you've summed it in one there. It's very But obviously, you're kind of more used to that anyway, because it's similar to you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So do you have a routine or a ritual for a show?
Not really.
It's what, sorry?
Not really. I should have. I'm working on it still. Like that, the pre and post show routines are really not so solid for me. But for this tour, I'm really gearing up to warm up properly before every show, to have a moment to calm down, to relax, to practice a little bit, and also to just come together with the band and get a sense of unity, because what we just talked about, this kind of internal living. Scandinavia is that to the extreme. So Swedish, Danish, it's the same in that regard, which means that we have a tendency to just be in our own zone and then go up on stage and do our thing. I want to try to break that, to see if we can, have a bit of extroverted unity before going on stage. Maybe it's not for us. I don't know. I haven't tried it. That's why I want to try it. But like where I'm at now, what I've usually done is just be in my own bubble, then go out and play. After the show, there is this tradition among touring bands to have after show pizza, which we haven't had until this tour. So we'll see if that's a tradition that's like the less rock star thing you could imagine. But no, usually, we're the kind of band that just, we do our thing, we pack down, make sure to help out, have a shower, maybe one beer, then go to bed. So we're not so crazy.
Yeah. I think it's important though to have the moments, you say, a moment to sit and reflect, and a moment to compose yourself before you go onto stage. And like I say, you warm up, practice, then take a breath, take a minute.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. And I also think it's important to celebrate, not necessarily to party, but to celebrate, to have a moment of good vibes after a show. It's so easy to just be in the work, just packing down, loading in, then being tired, and then next day begins. But it's nice to just give yourself a pat on the shoulder, and realize that you made a good show.
Yeah, you've done something, haven't you? You know, we're not. When you put a show on, the four of you on stage have just filled the room with emotion of all sorts, like highs, lows, ins and outs, and so that's a product of the four of you. So to afterwards say, "Well done, everybody. We've just delivered what we're supposed to do," and it's take that and soak it in it. Soak it up and enjoy it. You know, I like to see bands personally that have a chemistry that you can see as well. The looks between band members and the smiles and the interactions are all part of the reason we're humans doing it and not robots.
Exactly. That's totally right.
Particularly when you've got I imagine you've got such a tight sound. I imagine you've got backing tracks and samples and things happening all around. So just like you say, being in the bubble, in the moment, fully focused, listening to a click, listening to each other, listening to yourself. It's hard to take that human element of emotion and enjoy it at the time, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's actually also part of a practice routine as a musician to figure out how to be human and how to express emotion, no matter the instrument you play, in a more mechanical setting. And I think that part is pretty good. It's more the thing of kind of realizing afterwards with joy what has happened. Like on stage, at least just speaking for myself, I really feel like now it's all good. I'm good. This is a nice moment. This is almost like a break from the craziness of the day.
Yeah.
But the moment afterwards, that's when it all comes flooding back. And it would be nice to just kind of keep that that joy a bit more before diving back into work.
Yeah. Take that moment for yourself, like you say, because then there is all the pack down and the travel and, like you say, shower, pizza, bed.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so I'm really looking forward to seeing you. I can see we're running out of time, so I think we better start wrapping it in. But thank you for chatting with me and answering my questions.
Of course, my pleasure. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you. And truth be told, this is my first ever interview as an interviewer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
wow.
It's come because I like the band and I play your band on my radio show. Then it came to me to have the option for the interview. So I was like, I'll take that on. I'll pick that up. And so this was the first one. So I've been a bit nervous, and it's a thank you for being a guinea pig. But I didn't want to say it before we did.
My pleasure. I didn't notice at all that you were nervous or that it was your first interview. It was great.
Cool. But yeah, so have a great tour. Have a great album release.
Thank you very much.
Very much looking forward to seeing you in 30 days or something, whatever it is, on the 23rd.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, gonna be great seeing you there. I hope you will enjoy the show and have a nice time there.
Definitely, I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome.
Right. Thank you very much for chatting to me, Adam. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
Take care, mate. Have a good one.
Take care. You too.
Bye.
Bye.